Hi, Larry. Mid-Michigan is stuck in a deep freeze that never seems to want to end. Chances are you're having trouble keeping your house warm at this time of year. I'm Mark Jacobson, live in Mount Morris. We're going to give you some tips on how to keep your house warm and also how to save money and stay safe along the way. That's when ABC 12 News This Morning continues.
No way to sugarcoat it. It's cold outside, and while Mid-Michigan is stuck in a deep freeze, the fight to keep the heat inside your home is on. ABC 12's Mark Jacobson is live in Mount Morris with some tips on how to win this never-ending battle. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Candace. Yes, it is cold outside, and even if you thought you would winterize your home completely leading up to this whole season, chances are you're facing some new challenges this week, and chances are you're losing some heat out of the house, and you're probably losing some money along the way. And right now I'm joined by Jeff Lee with Mechanical Heating. And, you know, a lot of people, I guess, when this situation happens and you're stuck in these freezes, first thing they do is maybe they reach for these space heaters and start plugging them in throughout the house. Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
In my opinion, not a good idea. You're just substituting electricity for gas. Right now, electricity still costs more to use than gas, so all you're doing is raising your bill when you think you're actually getting ahead.
Not even safe in some sense, too, if you're plugging those
in many cases, the old ones, they're old and decrepit, they cause fires, so you got to be real careful whenever you use any type of space heater.
All right, other simple and practical things here, just reminders for this time of year.
Change your filter on your furnace. If you're restricting your furnace, you're also restricting the heat, and that's going to lose efficiency and you're going to lose money. So make sure your furnace filter's been changed.
Thermostat issues, too, what can you do with that?
You've probably heard this before, using a programmable setback thermostat, you can save money by turning the temperature down while you're sleeping, have it wake up before you, or have it turned back on before you wake up and heat up the house. So you're going to save probably in the area about $150 a year by using this, more if you have propane heat.
Okay, what's another trick here that most people don't really think about, and I think it's right above us here too, isn't it?
Absolutely right. Most people will use the ceiling fan in the summertime for cooling, but they don't realize there's a reversing switch here that you can flip the blades the other way, and it starts bringing the heat from the ceiling back down the walls so that you actually feel warmer and you don't have that breeze.
Because usually we'll actually just leave this off in the winter because everybody thinks it's going to make the house even colder, though, but it's not the case.
No, as long as you have it spinning the right direction, which means it will be pulling air upwards instead of blowing it down at you, it brings all the air up, brings it back down the walls, and keeps it circulating so that you feel the warmth of the house instead of all the heat racing up to the ceiling.
And in our next half hour, we're going to tackle the biggest problem area when it comes to losing heat and losing money throughout the winter here. We're going to touch on the windows, right?
Yeah, buddy. The windows are the biggest energy waster in your home.
All right. And now, if you want more of these money-saving and I guess heat retention tips, you can go to our website, abc12.com. Check out the See It on TV section. We have plenty of videos from Jeff Lee posted on there on the mechanical heating website that'll really help you get through these next couple of weeks or next couple of months, we should say, without losing all the heat in your house, and maybe hopefully we'll save you some money along the way. We're live in Mount Morris. Mark Jacobson, ABC 12 News. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's beginning to look and feel a lot like Christmas. Mid-Michigan seems a bit more like the North Pole this week, and even if you thought your home was ready for winter, chances are you're facing a challenge or two. ABC 12's Mark Jacobson is live in Mount Morris with some tips on how to keep that heat inside the building. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Larry. It's all about keeping the heat inside and also not wasting your money and letting that heat escape the home. Always a challenge right now, especially at this time of year. And right now we're joined by Jeff Lee with Mechanical Heating. And okay, what is the biggest problem area that's just kind of sucking the heat out and also just draining the money right now?
This home here is a perfect example. As we look behind us, we've got all this open window space. And to make it even worse, and this is your average home, we've got ice that's actually forming down here toward the edges because of not being properly sealed.
All right, what do we do here?
Let's open up the door. We want to make sure that we have the weather stripping in place that we need. And this does have weather stripping here, but if you're lacking a little bit and you see icing down there, you're going to need to take some preventative measures. This is just a peel and stick adhesive backing where you can take this off. You put it right between the door and the jamb where it's going to close. It'll stick right into place and help form that airtight seal to keep the drafts from coming in.
Let's move on over here too to the other windows over here. I know the blinds, the drapes, whatever you have over there, that can play a big role in this. What do you need to know here? What's an easy solution here?
Here we've got vertical blinds, which are nice and they look good, but the problem with them is they don't keep the heat from being lost. If you could replace these with some thermal drapes or some thermal curtains, something along those lines, it'll help keep the cold from coming in, and you can still open them when the sun's out, so you can get some shining.
That a lot of people wouldn't be thinking about here, down on the floor here, the outlet, really quickly here, what can we do over here with this?
With the outlet, behind here, this is where drafts come in perpetually also because it's never insulated. They make these that you can pick up at any hardware store, and it's just an insulating barrier. More insulation, the better. We pop that right in there.
It's going to save you some heat and some money along the way.
Yeah, you're going to stay a lot more comfortable. This helps keep the drafts from coming in. You simply put it in, you put your cover back on, and you're good to go.
All right, more heat-saving and money-saving tips coming up in just a couple of minutes. And for more information on and actually to see more of Jeff's tips, you can go to our website, abc12.com. Check out the See It on TV section. We are live in Mount Morris. Mark Jacobson, ABC 12 News. We'll be right back.
ABC 12 is working this morning to help you keep your own heating bills down. You're looking live at an expert who's sharing tips with you throughout the morning. The final tip to save you money is coming up at 6:52. Be sure to stay with us for a live report.
Candace, Mid-Michigan is caught in a deep freeze, and chances are your house is losing heat. We're going to show you how this hot pod and a few other tricks inside your house can help keep the home warm and also save you money. That's when ABC 12 News This Morning continues. Candace, if you're like me, when you hit this time of year and it gets really cold, you put your house to the test here. And my daughter's rooms, for some reason, we can never get them heated up to where they should be, no matter how high we crank it up. We're burning energy, we're burning money, and right now we're joined by Jeff Lee with mechanical heating. You know, the space heaters, this is always kind of the gut instinct. Is this the way to go?
This is not the way to go. It wastes energy that you don't need to. Plus, it's not safe, really, especially around the little ones.
So you're really only replacing electricity with electricity.
That's exactly right. So, and electricity costs more than gas, so we got a better solution here. This is what's called a hot pod. This actually fits right in the duct that goes to your daughter's room. It has a canvas connector, so it kind of slips right inside there. It fits into your duct, and then we wire it to the furnace. Let me show you. I've got this one wired to a plug just as an example. But when this kicks on, it actually helps correct problems in the ductwork that prevent air from coming through. There's a booster fan, as we can see that in there.
It blows hot air, right?
Absolutely. We've got a heating element over here that not only increases the airflow, but sends warm air out to the recipient as well.
Okay, how much does that actually cost to buy here?
You've got to have this installed, you're probably looking at $400 to $500, but it can save you that over the course of a year, 2 years easy by not having to keep that heat kicking up all the time.
Well, what's it doing to your electrical bill when you're plugging something like that?
Actually, it's about the cost of a light bulb. So not huge energy involved with it either.
Hey, one other thing I want to show really quickly up here, we mentioned this earlier, the ceiling fan in here. This is something that a lot of people just don't even think about using in the winter. How can this actually help you out during the wintertime and heat your home in a way?
Instead of having the fan spin and blow air down on you, we want to use the reversing switch right here. Make the fan spin in the opposite direction. It starts bringing the air upwards. The heat begins then traveling down the walls, and it helps keep the air circulating to help you feel warmer, and then you don't feel breezy because the fan's traveling in the right position.
All right, you're full of money-saving tricks that'll help keep our home warm. If you want more information and more of Jeff's tips, go to our website, abc12.com. Check out the See It on TV section. Jeff has videos there with demonstrations that can help you get through these next couple of weeks and even through the next couple of months here without going through, without spending all your money, without draining your money and draining your energy away. We are live in Mount Morris. Mark Jacobson, ABC 12 News. We'll be right back.
It seems a bit more like the North Pole this week, and even if you thought your home was ready for winter, chances are you're facing a few challenges. Here's ABC 12's Mark Jacobson.
Mid-Michigan is stuck in a deep freeze, and the fight to keep the heat inside your home is on.
Everybody heads immediately toward the space heaters. Unfortunately, there's a problem with this. It costs more to use electricity right now than it does gas.
Using a programmable thermostat, dialing the temperature down, and changing the furnace filter will all help retain heat and save energy. But Mechanical Heating's Jeff Lee says you need to do more in order to keep the bills down.
It's more than obvious. All this darn open window space is helping us to feel much colder than what we need to. And if we look down here, we can see that's part of the reason why. We've got some ice that's even coming through there.
Even if you've already installed weather stripping tape along the doors and windows, check to make sure it hasn't cracked.
Not cracked. And they make a nice, easy peel and stick weather stripping that you can put on over top in place to keep you from losing money, to keep you feeling warmer, and to keep your energy from leaking out the windows and doors.
Another solution might be right above your head, the ceiling fan, something that most people only think to use during the summer.
Every one I've seen has a reversing switch that you just flip, and the fan begins to spin in the opposite direction, bringing the heat upwards and then down the wall, recirculating it into the home.
Now, if you're still looking for an answer and you're like me and you have that one problem room in the house, my daughter's room, for example, which never gets warm enough, this could be the solution. It's called a hot pod. You can buy it and have it installed for around $500.
As we energize it with the furnace, the fan comes on, blows an extra boost of air and heat at the same time up through the vents in your home. This will save you money in the long run. It's a lot safer than a space heater, and you stay warm and comfortable all winter long.
In Mount Morris, Mark Jacobson, ABC 12 News.
For more on Jeff Lee's housing warming and money-saving tips, check out the See It on TV section at abc12.com.